All right, hope everybody had a happy new year. Gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna try and make this as quick as possible. So one of my earlier videos, the price of proxy, I went out and I destroyed a bunch of hardware. This quad was the quad that I used primarily for that video, and as you could tell, it took some substantial abuse. Cracked lens, cracked frame, a lot of damage to this quad because I hit the concrete, that brick wall a few times pretty hard. I took this bird out of commission because I had bent one motor, replaced the bell, and then I bent the opposite motor. So when I had done that, I went to my alternate bird, my backup bird, and guess what I did? Two brand new motors. I did the same thing. And as you guys can see, the reason I have this here is because I want to point out where I hit the wall there and where I hit the wall right there. If you take a look at this, you can see this motor is pretty gnarled up as well. And you can see where I took a hit right there on the wall. Each hit rendered each motor useless, basically locked it in place because it bent the bell. Out of my frustration in thinking about losing $100 in motors, I decided to come back to the bench and figure out if I could straighten the bells and fly them again. So what I did was I took my bells, and the nice thing about the Luminaire Zips is inside, and this may apply to many other motors on the market right now, but inside the bell is a small lip right where the neodymium magnets are, where they're laid in there. There's a lip just big enough to fit a flathead screwdriver under. And if you apply just the right amount of pressure, and then this is another thing, the Apex lends itself to the size of this arm, makes it almost perfect to fit it in there and apply pressure to bend that bell back into place. And I was able to do that with each of these bells. I was able to bend them back to the point where they spun smoothly again. So much so that my last video that I just did, I flew this quad and I saw absolutely no jello. I was able to bend the motors back to where they freely rotated, spun, and I didn't have any vibration issues that I could tell. So basically, take a flathead. You can use a small flathead, which I will get to, or a larger flathead, and then I basically place it in the bell like that, and then initially I just kind of give it a twist, so I'm rotating towards myself into the bell, and as you can see, this motor is completely seized. If that doesn't work, then I take the smaller flathead and I place it back in there, and then I go edge to edge, and then I apply a lot more pressure upwards on that one. Now this motor is pretty damaged, so if I don't get it, I wouldn't be totally surprised because I smacked, there's a nice little crease in the motor. But let's see if I can work it here. I'm gonna go off the camera and apply a lot of pressure to it. It's getting there. I don't know that this motor will be salvaged or salvageable just because of this significant hit that it took. Keep working it, and then you can just work down the bell so that it's an even. Dang, don't want to do that. There you go, it's getting smoother. I'm gonna work my way down from the point of impact. A little bit smoother. Don't stab yourself in the face when you're doing this. If I get this bell to spin freely, I'll be pretty impressed. It's getting there. And you don't want to gorilla grip it where you're just bending so hard on the bell that you bend it back out of shape, or bend the main shaft. You just want to keep applying pressure to it. Give it a turn, see if it's loosening up. I don't want to waste a bunch of time. You guys get the point, or you get what I'm trying to do. I was able, like I said, to recover all 4 of the damaged motors. This is a motor broken from the other day, the last video I just did, but I was able to recover these 2 motors and these 2 motors by doing that technique. So I'll continue to do that. That's a good field repair method. Hopefully it works for you guys. It worked great for me. I'm gonna keep working this and see if I can get it to spin free. Woo! I'm back. All right, so I couldn't get it. And when I took the motor apart, what I noticed was the magnet was actually cracked. So it was such a significant hit, or the crease in the bell, that it actually cracked the neodymium magnet inside. So there was no saving this particular bell. So I say it works 80% of the time. I was able to salvage 4 motors, which I'm pleased with a loss of 1. So at the end of the day, recap, take your time, just apply even pressure all the way around wherever the dent is. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to gorilla grip it, because what you can do is bend the main shaft or actually bend it back in the opposite direction, going against what you were trying to achieve in the first place. But if you get a minor ding that seizes the motor, that's a good technique that I now will start using to help salvage my motors. Hopefully it works for you guys. It has worked for me, and except for this motor here, but that's it. All I got, y'all.